Wagwan sports fan, welcome back to Sports People TV. I want to go just get into a quick little discussion here about why Darren Sammy and Alzarri Joseph have this kind of conflict going on. Why Alzarri Joseph come out in the media saying he doesn't play for Darren Sammy, but he play for the West Indies. And we're going to get into why all of this come about. We're going to read a quick little article quickly just to shed some information, shed some light of what really take place, why this sort of unwanted information is coming out into the public, right? So we're going to get through this article as quickly as possible. Then we can have a discussion about who is right and who is wrong. West Indies fast bowler Alzarri Joseph says concern over his physical readiness after a lengthy injury layoff, not a refusal to play, were behind his absence from the ongoing Test series against Pakistan. Challenging comments made publicly by head coach Darren Sammy. The discussion surfaced after conflicting explanations emerged from within the West Indies setup. While Cricket West Indies announced that Joseph would miss the series for personal reasons, Sammy later stated that the fast bowler had been selected but chose not to make himself available. Those remarks, Joseph believed, created a misleading impression of the situation. Alzarri Joseph criticized Sammy, saying conversation about his availability had taken place privately before any public statement was made. We had a chat, myself and the head coach. I've also a chat with the West Indies Cricket Board, and if you realize the statement of the West Indies Cricket Board released that personal terms are personal reasons. Mr. Sammy, being around for a long time, he knows exactly what the statement would have done. So to be honest, I have nothing to say to Mr. Sammy in terms of his statement. Joseph explained he had only recently returned from a second lower back stress fracture after spending almost a year away from international cricket, and that is true. Having completed 5 consecutive ODIs earlier this month, he felt another immediate test assignment would place unnecessary strain on his body. That is understandable. That, he said, was the reasoning discussed with team management before the squad was finalized. We spoke about me playing the 2 test matches here, playing 5 back-to-back ODIs and how my body was feeling. And I knew to myself, my body was not ready to go into another test series. So the statement itself, controversial without context. Despite the disagreement, Joseph is back at Sammy on his comment without suggesting the relationship had broken down. The fast bowler said representing the West Indies remained his priority regardless of personal reason. I'm a professional. I'm going to go to work. I'm representing the West Indies. I am not representing Darren Sammy. No, that is a very, very bold statement. And it's true. He's not representing Darren Sammy. He's representing the West Indies. So in truth and in fact, he's not wrong what is the last statement that is made. But let's get into it. Alzarri Joseph played 5 consecutive one-day international against New Zealand. On the last ODI, Alzarri Joseph came in when the West Indies needed a couple of runs to win the match. So it came down to the tail ender, and I don't remember the batsman that was there. But Alzarri Joseph's job was to just keep the bowlers out. And I think the first ball he played a cover drive on the up, straight into the man at extra cover, the field at extra cover. And I heard that they spoke to him about it. And Alzarri Joseph is a very fiery person. Yeah, you have this character that is very fiery. It needed in sports, it needed in cricket. So no blame to him. I heard that someone spoke to him about it. Of course, West Indies eventually went on to win the match, but they had a chat with him about it. So persons are saying that's the reason why he did not accept the test call-up, while Alzarri Joseph is saying that he came back from 1 year injury, played 5 consecutive ODI matches, and then expected to play 2 test matches. He's saying that he doesn't think that his body could hold on, even though the next test match would not be the next set of cricket West Indies would play would be like September, October. So he would have had some rest. But he's saying that right now his body, he doesn't think that his body can hold up, and that is understandable. But For Darren Sammy to come out in the public to say that he refused the test call up, I think that was unnecessary by Darren Sammy. And Alzarri Joseph had all right to refuse if he felt that his body would not make it. Remember that is his test career. It is his career on the line. If he suffered another injury, he could be here for out for another year or so, and he wasn't risking it. So I understand that. While in the background, we are hearing that um, essentially Joseph getting a feeling and decides, hey, because them talk to him about, I mean, the shot that he played, he got out when he needed to just, hold him cricket. But it's cricket. Um, you're going to try to hit runs, but I understand that. But I don't think that is the case. I don't think that is the case. I think in truth and in fact, this man is watching his body, and you have to do that as a sportsman, because remember that your physical fitness is what put food on your table. And if you're out for another year, that your income have shone for another year. So Alzarri Joseph had all right to say, you know what, my body does not feel like he can carry me through another 5 days of gruesome, feeling or batting. Um, he doesn't feel like he could have managed the stress. So I do understand where Alzarri Joseph is coming from, and I do and I really, really feel disappointed in what Darren Sammy did, because what he have done now has caused a rift between, person taking Darren Sammy's side, person taking Alzarri Joseph's side. Not at this juncture where West Indies seem like they're been going on and up. You understand? Because although they lost the test series against New Zealand, not the test series, the 1 day series against New Zealand, they lost because they literally dropped one catch. Like like couple deliveries left, they need to take one catch and the two fielders hit it up into each other, because they're simple mistake, right? Schoolboy mistake, not even simple mistake. They just shout their mind, take the cash, win the match, and then of course they would have won the series. But they came back and they won the last match. New Zealand won the match the series 3-2. But they have been on the up. They have been performing consistently. Batsmen have been scoring double hundreds. In the last test match, nobody scored 100, but of course, the high 80s, 90s, yeah, Batman made, I forgot who made 90. But the bowlers are bowling really well. Historic test match, because the first time in the Caribbean, all all wickets was taken by fast bowlers. So that was historic test match in the West Indies. And the Pakistan bowlers took all their wickets with fast bowlers, and the West Indies also did it. And I must say, I'm pleased with how West Indies handling themselves. Shamar Joseph, I must commend him, a young man coming into Test cricket and have been showing hold up his hand, hold up his hand and um, be counted for, saying that he is here to stay, and I really, really, really well pleased with the performance. Jaden Field, we see that he's now controlling his emotions and has been putting the ball in the right line and length, and he has been reaping the reward. So we have to say kudos to the West Indies. But this whole rift between Alzarri Joseph and Darren Sammy, it is totally uncalled for. Because if the West Indies Cricket Board came out and said, for personal reason, Alzarri Joseph is not going to make it into this test series, Sammy had no right to come out and says that he refused to be selected. He had no right. He just put some, doubt in person's mind, like he's trying to throw Alzarri Joseph under the bus. Listen, Alzarri Joseph, as I said, is a very, very high character. So probably they do have their differences, but he need not to bring it into the public. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, West Indies have another match coming up on Sunday, which is tomorrow. I hope you all tune in. I will be tuning in to see if they can wrap up the series by winning another test match, to climb up the test ranking. That's all we want to see, because we're all West Indian, right? We don't enjoy this rift between players or player and coach for that matter. So yeah, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Our channel is new. We basically have no subscribers at the moment. So I hope by the time this video is finished, if you make it this far, then you would have at least subscribed and drop a like. But I'll try to be as consistent as possible. I said this is a sports channel. We talk about football, cricket, running, whatever sports we play. So see you on the other side.